Hey guys, welcome back. Hopefully third time's a charm. This is literally the third time I'm trying to film this video. Apparently iMovie, which I edit these, does not like 4K and 60 frames a second. So giving it a whirl. So here we are back in the basement. The whole point of this video is that I'm basically not going to use the basement. Kind of stinks. Not literally. The basement's one of the bigger spaces that I have available. It's about 22 feet from these poles here all the way over to that far wall. And it's about 17 feet, and then from the far wall to where I'm standing-ish is closer to or over here is like 22 feet, something like that. It's pretty big, and I had totally planned to like go right up to these poles, and then from basically that white pole all the way over to where I'm standing would be like a fake wall that would separate the staging and helix from the rest of like the scenic layout. I thought it was going to be pretty cool, and over here would be like a workbench and just tools and other stuff, supplies. However, the reason I've chosen not to use this is it's cold. It's about 30 degrees outside here in Massachusetts, and it's like 50 degrees down here. It's not horrible, but it's not great. The other thing, the ceiling needs to be encapsulated in some way, drop ceiling, whatever, to help cut down on dust. It also, the entire house needs to be rewired. There's some really scary wiring going on in this house, that I'm obviously gonna need, some access to get to. And I really hope to do that in 2019 this year. So we'll see. Hopefully, since the basement's pretty open and the attic's wide open, we can get to everything we need to get to. Plus, we want to put in central air and all that stuff I need access. So that's the second reason. And then the third reason is like a month or two ago, we had about a 4-inch flood down here. We do have a sump pump. It looks like way long time ago. Somebody put in French perimeter drains. But my neighbor said he's got 3 sump pumps, and I really hate, like 4 inches wasn't too bad, but what if it was 2 feet or 4 feet? And, all the railroad stuff was protected because it's in bins and off the floor. But, it would really, really stink to, like, get a major flood down here. I do have a backup pump, but, again, there's a lot of ifs down here. So I will show you the next possible location that could be for a layout. Second option, the attic. Now, the attic has a lot of similar problems to the basement. It's cold. Colder than the basement because there's zero insulation. It needs a new subfloor. It needs electrical. It only has lights. There's not a lot of stuff up here, but I think if we were to... We do want to finish it. Maybe as a bonus room, but if I want my instant gratification for a layout now, this won't work. Size-wise, I think it's about 15 feet from, like, roof to the other roof, and that's at 5-foot knee walls, which I think Massachusetts code calls for. And then from the chimney to the window behind me here is about 18 feet, and on the other side is 15 by 13. So completely finished. there'd still be a lot of space behind the knee walls for storage, central air, and anything else. However, yeah, and I'm gonna have to fight my other half on like usage once it is finished. And yeah, like I said, it's not something that's gonna happen next week. So if you want to see what I've decided on, then that will be next. Okay, so here we are in the pink room. This is a spare bedroom. It is one of the last of the bedrooms, which is why all the stuff is hanging out in here. I have to finish painting the other guest bedroom, and then most of the stuff can find a home. A lot of it is like art and files and paper and clothing and stuff that can go in closets and bookshelves and stuff like that, which again, I just need to paint that room. However, this room is 12.5 by 12.5. Pretty simple. There's a doorway into the hallway, and then on this roughly the same wall, there's this really nice big closet here. And so, yeah, there's should be plenty of storage. I can hopefully store some of the stuff that's in the room, plus some train stuff. Because maybe some of the stuff can go to the attic. And then, yeah. So I think it's a decent space. I think it's a realistic size space for what I want to do for maybe a first layout. Trying to be ambitious with some monster size is a lot of money and time, and again, it's a new house. There's a lot to do here. The yard is a blank slate, so I know my spring, summer, and falls will probably be spent outside. So I need to be realistic about what I want to do, and I think I can fit a small sort of wraparound peninsula layout in this room and not block the doors and still be able to, do what I need to do. I am going to build it completely freestanding, not attaching it to these walls. These walls are horsehair plaster, and I really don't want to mess them up. I do, however, need to figure out some way to keep access to the windows. The layout should be high enough that I can still get to the bottom of the window, but I need to figure out how to get to the top of the window. All the windows in this house are original 1920s and need to be re-glazed and primed and painted. So all three of these windows are first on my list as soon as it warms up. Very thankful for storms, otherwise this house would be colder than it already is. As for lighting in here, there is one of those contractor specials up there. Once I get sort of a better layout, the space cleared, and maybe I can tape out on the floor or something where the actual layout will go. I don't know if I'm going to build 100% of the bench work like right away. I may just build a small segment of it. I should be able to better figure out track lighting. I think that is a good option for this space. The other thing I was thinking about was the legs that are going to be near the wall, which will support the backdrop, could be cantilevered to support a valance and maybe some RGB LED strips or something in there to provide some scenic lighting, but I haven't really decided. It should be interesting to try to figure out the bench work, but yeah. And the other thing this room has, we don't have central air, but we do have baseboard heat, so I do need to, which you can see a little bit of that over there, I need to kind of account for that. It's only on that outer wall there, not on this outer wall. Just need to make sure that the legs sit in front of it, which will probably provide some sort of chimney effect behind the backdrop of the heat coming up and over, but just need to keep that in mind, otherwise this room will be freezing. So that's the plan, and I'm excited. The other thing I have to think about with the bench work is keeping it somewhat modular. It doesn't have to be perfectly modular, but I don't know if the layout will live in here forever. We have 4 bedrooms and no master suite. We would, if we're gonna stay here long term, we may sacrifice a bedroom to make a master suite. And so the layout would have to move. Hopefully by that time, either the attic or a garage will be built. And if I build a garage, I would definitely build out a finished space up there. And then Daddy can go play with trains outside the house. But yeah, those are the things I have to kind of keep in mind. It's a lot to think about, and yeah, I think I'm gonna start with the engine facility, which will be right here by the door, just because it's flat. It doesn't have any staging under it. Well, it might, I don't know. The layout plan doesn't have any track under it, but it could be a good spot, or at least some shelving. I don't know. Maybe I need to store some of the stuff that's in here under the layout, so just keep that in mind. So yeah, maybe I'll try to figure out the engine facility, or at least this corner starting from that window area back, just to see what the bench work's gonna be like. But again, I can't block off these windows before spring, so that is the plan. Be sure to like this video, comment, please comment. I want your feedback. Love your ideas. I try to comment back. Click the subscribe button for future updates, and then click the little bell so you get notified of when I do update. I hope to update more often. And also let me know what you think of the quality of this video / smoothness. It's my first time filming with a gimbal for my phone, so it should be smoother, but I'm still getting used to its abilities. Thanks, guys.